Mamy tutaj fanów gry o tron, którzy się zebrali i czekają na panel. Jeffrey? Liczyłem na większe jakieś wow. To jest człowiek, który niekoniecznie chodzi po takich konwentach. No dobrze. To w takim razie zapraszam na scenę nasze gwiazdy. Jack Gleeson i...
Hello.
A Jack dzisiaj w parze z Gemmą Whelan. Woo! Competition, which character would be meaner?
Do we have to answer that? Him, obviously.
I feel like maybe your character would definitely win in a battle of verbal sparring, kind of witty put downs.
You'd win in just plain evil.
Yeah, just kind of destroying you. So I think you'd be good at emotionally destroying me.
And you would physically destroy me.
Physically destroy.
Cut something off me.
Yeah, and that's why we get on so well.
Yeah. Next question.
Were you crying when they kill him?
Do you know what? Actually, I was. Everyone says to me, which character do you miss most who's died? And it's Joffrey, because he was such a fantastic character. But it was an amazing death. Like, I loved watching you die. I loved it.
Well, I think some people wanted it to go on a bit longer.
Yeah, you could have done that face for a while and I wouldn't have got bored.
Yeah, but I think they wanted the actual death to be slightly more gruesome.
How long, how many takes did they do?
It was long. They didn't go easy on me. It was a good 2 days of action.
And
okay, cut.
What did you put in your mouth to make the foam?
Do you know what?
It's just all me.
They literally did that thing where I literally had to have vinegar in my mouth, and then they put baking soda, and it creates like a small reaction. So, like when you make like a volcano at school, you put vinegar and I think it's baking soda, bicarbonate of soda. So it wasn't like movie magic, Hollywood.
It wasn't all natural.
It was my mouth tasted of vinegar for about a week. Because
really hot.
It wasn't very sophisticated.
And how many cakes were destroyed with the birds inside? Because I can imagine that you have to make many shots of it to have it correctly.
Well, I can't remember, but they only had a certain amount of doves or pigeons because they weren't trained to come back. And what they did was, it was like a plastic cake, and they had like a fan, like a jet of air beneath it, and at action.
To shoot them out?
Yeah, and they'd jettison them up, push them up, and all the doves would fly away. And I think they were from Bosnia or somewhere, because it was filming in Croatia, and the guys were like, yeah, they're flying back home to Bosnia.
Wow.
So you want to tell me that in Dubrovnik right now there are flying some pigeons from Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
And which was the hardest part from your character till, let's see, season 7? Because I know that you cannot tell about anything that will happen.
Part.
Yes. The hardest scene, the hardest part.
It's really crap to say that anything is hard when we're doing such an amazing job. I mean, not that we are doing an amazing job, but when we have the privilege of doing so, I mean, okay, so anyway. But sometimes the temperature, the cold, is very, very difficult when we're in the water on the north coast of Ireland. The funeral scene for my father, when we were in the water, we did all of the water stuff all day, and at the end of the day we had to do the dialogue, and I couldn't speak because I was so cold, so we had to stop and I had to warm up because I was just doing my lines like this, and it didn't really look very badass, so we had to warm up, and then so it's
They
not
can fix that
hard.
in post-production, I think.
Yeah.
They can
It's
change
not
the jaw.
hard. Nothing is hard. It's more. I suppose what's challenging is knowing every season after season how big the show is and how much it's loved. Is you going, shit, I'm in such a big TV show, I better not fuck this up. It's hard to sort of stay on top of your nerves sometimes, that you like, when they call action, just to be in the moment rather than, it's Game of Thrones.
Gemma, were you always sometimes jealous that they are doing in Croatia and you're still in Ireland?
Well, I did get to go to Spain last year and it rained. And I got cabbage thrown at me. So
You got what?
cabbage. David and Dan and a load of the Spanish supporting artists threw cabbage and bread at me and Indira. Have you watched
As part
the show?
of the scene?
It's
No.
part of the scene, yes, part of the
Okay,
scene.
okay. I thought it was
And
a
then-
weird, like, prank.
On rap. So, no, I'm not jealous of them because I love Belfast, but I would really like to go to Iceland. That would be somewhere I'd really like to go, but I don't know. Maybe I'll get to go there. Maybe I won't.
Oh my, Gemma!
Stop it.
And Jack, your hardest part from all the seasons that you played it?
Yeah, maybe it was the death scene, as Gemma says, to kind of live up to not the pressure or the expectations, but you just want to do a good job basically because it's your job, and you know that this scene is going to be watched loads of times by loads of people, and it's just hard to pretend to die. I don't know. It's just difficult because I've never died in my life, not once. So I've no kind of experience to fall back
Can't
on.
be method, can you? On
No,
that?
you can't be method with a death scene. So yeah, that was like an acting like challenge.
Because I love the scene when you're going to the council meeting and they treat you like a child and you're like, I'm the king, goddammit. Treat me like one. Like, no, go away, go to your chamber, go to sleep.
Yeah, I mean that was a lot of fun just to like throw a tantrum. Yeah. And yeah, to get told off by Charles Dance is pretty cool, you know. Definitely a fantasy of mine, you know what I mean?
Especially you have also one scene when you're sitting on the Iron Throne and he's approaching you like, what are you doing here? It was a very powerful thing. And I'm curious, did you learn anything from him? Did you receive any tips how to be
Yeah.
as hard as him in such a scene?
Yeah, I mean, he'd never, well, in my experience, he'd never be someone to like actually give you tips. It's kind of like bad etiquette, I suppose. But like, for instance, the director of the last episode I was in, you know, he literally gave me the direction because he wanted me to act kind of more confident and mature as the character. And he literally said, you know, think about how Charles Dance presents himself as Tywin. And he does. He just has this charisma or magnetism when he's on screen, especially as Tywin. So yeah, I mean, I literally had to kind of look up to him and yeah, kind of try and emulate his talent.
Okay. Do we have any questions to our guests? Whoa. This is the part when everybody's sitting here and we're cleaning the floor.
Bit of housekeeping going on down
Yeah?
here.
I didn't expect that, to be honest.
Hi,
Okay.
hi. I have a question to Jack. I want to ask you about your character. How did you feel with playing a character who is so different from you? And
I find it really fun. I don't know. Yeah, I think it kind of, first of all, like evokes a really strong reaction from the audience and fans, and that's kind of gratifying to get feedback in that way. And I don't know, yeah, I don't really have an interesting answer other than it's just kind of fun to be mean, because you're not really allowed to be mean or evil in day-to-day life. So to kind of, so to be paid to kind of force someone to drink loads of wine until they choke, or to, just be mean. Those kind of evil things that we all want to do. You know, we all want to rip each other's eyes out and spit on each other, but we don't because of the law. And it's just good to get around that sometimes.
And guys, did you have some suggestions from the director that you have to repeat the scene because you weren't mean enough?
Yeah, I mean, there was one example, again, in my wedding scene, my death scene, where there are a group of musicians who are actually Sigur Rós, who are the Icelandic band, who I really, really love, Sigur Rós. Any Sigur Rós fans in the house? Woo. Yeah, exactly. They're not really fans that would kind of throw up the devil horns, so they're probably like in a corner reading a book at the moment. But they were the musicians kind of playing for the royalty in the scene, and I had to kind of throw coins at them. And I was kind of throwing the coins at their feet because I didn't actually want to hit them on the head, and the director kept saying, no, actually throw them really hard. And I did, because he kind of forced me to, and it hit it hit the drummer on his head, and he had like a bruise on his head for the rest of the week. So that was one example where you push me to my limits, and if you do that, you're gonna get a face full of knuckle. Ain't that right?
And Gemma, for you?
Oh, was I ever told to be more mean? Nah. Oh, to act better, definitely, but not to be more mean. No, I can't think of. Oh, yes, actually. It's very, very. In season, I can't remember what season it is, when I go to try and rescue Theo on season 4, and the dog's in the cage, and me and Iwan have this kind of face-off, and then he says, the dog's on us, so I run for it, and I ran down the beach. And not that it should be a thing, but I was really running like a girl. And he said we had to cut and go again, and because I was running like this. And so I just didn't realize how I was running because it was so rocky. I was just trying not to fall over, so I was like this. And he said we need to get the arms under control to be a bit more badass and Yara. And also trying to get into boats in a hurry, looking really, really mean, is really hard. Because the boat's moving, it's never smooth underfoot. So that's often quite comical, and we have to go again and again and again, and everyone's getting a little bit pissed off.
Can you do a little lap right now, just to see?
Yeah, I'll do one for you later.
Are you putting a challenge for her? Okay.
And I have another question. From what is made the Iron Throne?
Troszkę...
From what is made the Iron Throne?
I don't know. The props and design team do a very good job. I don't know what it's made of, but I do know that sometimes if I kind of grip it too hard, sometimes little bits do come off.
Is it not a glass fiber?
Glass fiber sounds right, yeah. I don't want to be like, it's made of plastic.
Paper
and
mache.
there's like a group of 20 people in Belfast who are like,
We spent a whole year doing that.
I really made that from bare hands. So, glass fiber. Fiberglass. Glass fiber.
Sure.
But yeah, it's, I think there's one over there. I see it over there.
Yeah, but it's a Polish copy.
Hmm?
It's a Polish copy.
Oh, cool.
It's official by HBO, but it's a Polish one. It's familiar, but it's not the same as they told us.
Yeah, but it's not made out of real swords, thankfully. That would be an insurance problem. And, yeah.
Thank you very much. I love you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Next question.
Hello.
Hello.
I have a question mostly for Jack, but for both of you. And in real life, if you had a possibility to rule one of the countries, which one and why?
Which one of the countries
Yeah.
in Game of Thrones?
No, in real life.
Oh. I mean, as small a country as possible, I think. Like Andorra. Yeah, Liechtenstein, something small, manageable. Or a country that's already up on its feet, you know, like Sweden or Denmark. Country that's already doing pretty good. I don't want to mess anything up, but I'd go for Andorra. Andorra would be my.
I'm going to go North Korea.
North Korea for Gemma. Okay. That's a probably more moral decision. Yeah.
Get it
or
under
maybe
control.
it's not. I mean, are you saying that you're going to go there and make it
No, I'm
less?
just going to go and give everyone teddy bears and soften the place up a bit, relax the pants off.
So you're not going to be you're not going because you want to be a dictator.
No, I'm going to go to like flip it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Okay,
And then
Jack,
we can twin with Andorra.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And how did you feel when you at first sat on the Iron Throne? What was the feeling?
I suppose, to be honest, I didn't really know how important it was as an image for the show. So it's just another day at work. No, it's certainly cool when you sit on the Iron Throne and you're kind of up at a height and you're like looking down at people. That's a kind of a cool feeling. And I write about that in my diary at night, and it makes me feel really special. So, yeah, actually sitting on it, as I said, it's not like, there's no cushions or anything, so it's not actually fun to sit on. But the actual, the power that you feel is, it goes to your head, and it goes to other places as well.
Because, guys, you have to know that the room with the Iron Throne it's actually a big normal room. It's not a stage. It's a big room with the columns and stuff.
Yeah. It's a big set that they built in Belfast in a big warehouse. Have you never been there? Yeah. It's where the Titanic ship that sank in 1912 or something. They actually built it in Belfast in these big warehouses, and HBO and Game of Thrones repurposed these warehouses and built some more, and made these beautiful sets in them. Yeah, so you're part of history while filming.
Even the columns that you can see in this throne room, they are real, with the real fire that actually your character designed over there, because he wanted to look more badass.
Yeah, so I completely forgot about that. Yeah, when Joffrey kind of became king, he kind of made it into what a 14-year-old, 15-year-old boy would want his bedroom to look like, you know. Photos of his favorite rock band and Pamela Anderson posters, that kind of thing. So yeah, he kind of pimped it out.
Yeah, big fire. Thank you very much. Next question, please.
Hello, it's nice to see you here in Poland. So I have two questions to both of you. So first one is, who was your biggest inspiration to play your roles? Or like, who inspired you to play like that good at you played?
Nothing really comes to mind. I remember I said, somebody asked me a similar question ages ago, and I didn't have a good answer. So instead, I kind of made one up, which was to say, like Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal in Gladiator as Caligula, I think, or I don't know what his character was, just the evil emperor. But I don't have a specific one. I mean, that's a good reference as any, because I think it's a great performance and he's a great actor, and it's a similar role, similar part. But I'm sure there are a lot of influences. I mean, there definitely are, but they're kind of subconscious. Like I was saying yesterday, the character is kind of a montage of characters I grew up with in books and TV shows and films. So If I had to choose one, it would probably just to say something. Joaquin Phoenix is
Better than me, I don't know. Again, all subconscious, I think of strong characters in books and films and people I've admired or found to be appropriately inspiring, I suppose, for that role, but I don't know. I've never really...
Come on, just say something.
Pamela Anderson.
Pamela Anderson.
And the second one is, what was a specific thing that you didn't expect to do, but you did because of the role? But like, you haven't done this before, but you had to do this to role, but you maybe didn't want to. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Kissing boobies. But I'm not saying I didn't want to, but I wasn't expecting to. But it was very nice.
What was that like? What was the experience?
was-
How long, like...
We did a lot of takes of that because I
Yeah.
kept going wrong. No, I didn't.
Like, you know, when you stay in the bath too long and your fingers get pruny.
You think I was
Was there a pruny?
salivating over her breast so much
Well,
that
was
she went
there
wrinkly?
was there an experience of the prune effect?
There was no pruning. It was just very, very cold. Because that brothel is meant to be somewhere very warm, and we were in Belfast in the middle of winter. And so I had to keep her warm.
Oh.
I can imagine, Jack, for you was killing champagne.
Yeah, I've done a lot of things that I didn't think I would ever do. Yeah, loads of, like, just something that comes to mind. There's a scene in which I'm kind of bullying Sansa, and I kind of get one of my bodyguards to, like, kind of rip her dress to kind of humiliate her. And obviously it's just a TV show or whatever, but yeah, even doing that in a fake way, I was kind of like, that's weird to do. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh, there's one more thing as well, actually. I'm a vegetarian, but I was so scared on my first day of filming, which was the scene in which Yara is meant to be eating chicken, like, off the bone. And I was so scared to tell them that I was vegetarian that I ate chicken all day. So that's something I didn't expect to do.
Did your stomach, like, explode?
No, I think I grew.
Yeah.
Some protein, finally.
Did you have to pretend that Yara was enjoying it?
I just went method. I was like, yeah. For one day, let's get
Nice.
this chicken in.
Nice.
Okay. Hello?
Hi, so I hope you're enjoying your time in Poland. And I've got a question, what was the most surprising scene for you in the whole show? The most surprising, shocking news?
But with them inside or any other?
Any other?
It's funny because even though I know what's going to happen in the show when I watch it, it still shocks me. So I knew that the Red Wedding was going to happen, and that still shocked me. Last season, I knew a lot of what was going on, and I watched it in such a physical way because I was so shocked at what was going on. So yeah, a lot of the scenes have a real power over me. It's not the kind of TV you can ever watch doing anything else. A lot of TV now, I think you can be on your phone, you can be doing some other, but it commands your attention. And yeah, a lot of it surprises me, even though I know what's going to happen, because it's so exquisitely shot and done.
Yeah, I'd probably say the Red Wedding as well, or when Bran is pushed out of the window. Because you kind of come to expect to be shocked with Game of Thrones, whereas that, it just completely takes you off guard, because you think it's a certain type of show, and then it becomes very dark and very scary. So that was shocking.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Hi guys. Jack, just a quick question to you.
Yeah.
How many, if any, death threats have you got since you started playing your character, Joffrey?
I mean, I've gotten a lot, but none of them have got to do with the Joffrey thing. I just owe a lot of people a lot of money. There was a problem, just with my time in the Cayman Islands, that got messy. And anyway, I'll be having a separate Q&A to any investors in the audience. Thankfully, zero. Absolutely zero. Some people assume because I play a bad guy that fans, I don't know, hate me as an actor. But no, I've met all of you guys, and you've been so nice. And every other convention I've been to, or people on the street that I meet, everyone's been very nice. You know, they might say, "Oh, I hate Joffrey. I want to kill Joffrey," but you know, then they might give me a lollipop or something, so they know that it's okay.
That's good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, nice to see you. I hope you're having a great time here in Poland. And I want to ask you one thing, both of you. If you could play completely different character in a Game of Thrones, which one would you choose and why?
I always say Hodor, you know, because it gets a good reaction, and you don't have to learn any lines. Yeah, so you don't have to learn any lines. You just turn up, you know what you're going to be doing, and yeah, simple stuff. Not that there aren't challenges involved, but mainly the line learning is the simple stuff, you know.
But you have to have brand on your shoulders all the time.
Yeah, that's also a big challenge. Maybe they'd have to rework the plot a little bit. Maybe Hodor could be on Bran's back for a little bit, you know? Maybe Hodor needs a little break. Hodor needs to chill out and sit down and have a cigarette sometimes, so they'll have to work that in maybe, but...
I think I want to play Sam. Yeah, that'd be Samwell for the comedy. Yeah, they really...
Samwell Tarji, I love that character, right?
Yeah. John played him fantastic.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hi, I
Hello.
have a question for Gemma, and it's what do you think about relationship between your character and her brother?
I think it's very complicated. I really like the relationship because Yara really has a very strong sense of her family and who her brother is to her. And as we see, you know, she tries time and time again to rescue him or to bring him back to himself. And she never gives up on him. And when he gives up on her in season 7, I think that further complicates, of course, it further complicates things. But I also think she understands why he did it, and he made the right decision, because if he chose to help her at that point, they would both die. So, and she understands that he's got post-traumatic stress. I mean, she doesn't label it as that in the moment, I'm sure, but I think she understands him, and maybe now it's over between the two of them because it's maybe one separation too far, or maybe it's going to be okay. We'll find out, or maybe we won't. But yeah, I think it's a really beautiful relationship. Apart from what I did to him in season 2, everything after that has been really based from her family and her strong sense of what's right and wrong.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh, hello.
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 My question is, which season was the best for you to play?
Season 6 for me, I think, because there was the most to do. It was a really lovely story arc for me and Alfie, who plays my brother. So that was a really fun season. But every season's really good fun. But 6, I had lots to do, which was great.
So every season is fun, but some are less fun than others.
Some are funner.
some are less fun. So you could also have a least fun.
Least fun was 5 because I wasn't in it.
My answer is season 4 because I had the least to do. And I suppose, yeah, I just really enjoyed filming episode 2 or 3, where it was all about my wedding and it was all about me. And I was the center of attention. And I also got to lie on like a plinth, like a couch thing, and pretend to be dead for a day. And I just slept, and they paid me for it. It was great. Yeah, really good, yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great question.
Hi, I've got a question to both of you. And what would you think would happen if Jeffrey would realize that he's actually Jamie's child?
If Joffrey's actually what?
Jamie's child.
Oh, right.
What he would do?
Jamie's child. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, it's one of the few bits of depth to Joffrey's character that he has this paranoia about who his real dad is. So I wouldn't like that to go away, or else he'd be an even more shallow character to play. So that was always fun. And I remember, like, during the pilot, I think myself and Nikolai talking with George R. R. Martin, the writer of the books, of course, and Nikolai asked George whether George thinks what the dynamic is between Nikolai and Joffrey, and whether Joffrey knows or whether Nikolai, that whole thing. So yeah, I like the ambiguity, and I like the paranoia that Joffrey has. But if he knew, probably wouldn't end well. Yeah, probably be quite bloody, or there'd be a lot of tears. There'd be a lot of eating ice cream on a couch. You know, no, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm more sorry. You hang up, that kind of thing. And then maybe we'd go to like a football match, and I'd have my first beer and say things that I regretted, and yeah, a little Smirnoff Ice.
Thank you.
And I'm curious, when you were talking to George or Martin, did he tell you guys, I don't want you to spoil it, but only say yes or not, how would it all end? Because I know that he has the ending and he gave it to the guys. I don't know if they will use it or make their own, but did he tell the cast how he thinks it will end?
No, absolutely not. Not that I would ask or want to know, really. No, basically not. He's a very, very friendly guy, you know. He'll talk to you about anything, and he loves talking about your character and about that stuff, but I don't know, I almost wouldn't want to know. Yeah.
I wanted to know because I was a fan of the books before the series began, so I was waiting for it, when he's postponing it and postponing, and it's making me mad sometimes. That's why I'm very curious, will the ending of the show will be the same that he will make in the books, because I really think he will finish the book sometime.
Well,
so.
You could bring him to like a torture chamber and really get it out of him, you know, really put a damp cloth over his face or something.
Okay, next one.
Hi, I wanted to ask you both, what was the most rude question someone asked you?
Rude?
Yeah, not nice, you know.
That one, the one you just asked. How dare you?
Sorry, really sorry.
Actually,
sit down.
It's none of your business, actually.
Oh, sorry.
That's actually none of your business. No.
No, I don't think anyone's ever asked me a rude question.
Someone, I was doing an interview on a radio station in Ireland, promoting a small play I was doing with friends, and it was just like an advertisement. I was just talking about the play, and then at the end, the interviewer was like, "Okay, thanks very much. You know, we'd love to see the play. By the way, like, you must be like really rich from Game of Thrones." And I was like, "Oh, you know, I don't want to talk about that." And he was like, "Well, come on, like, how much did you earn?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know." And he just kept asking me, and I was like, "You know, I'm not like a millionaire. You know, obviously they paid me very well, but you know, it shouldn't be anyone's business, really, unless, I don't know, yeah, I owe people money."
Thank you.
But yeah, I don't.
Okay, we have time only for 2 more questions.
Hi, do you have any funny memories with from other conventions? like other Comic Cons?
There's, I mean, loads, basically. Every convention I go to, there's always something exciting happens, or I meet some cool people, or, you know, you have a few drinks. But there's a convention in Bonn, in Germany, called RingCon, which is not on anymore, which is kind of special because all of the guests, all of the actors and illustrators and animators stay in the same hotel as all of the guests, like all of the fans and everyone. And the convention happens in the hotel as well. So it's like this insane hotbed bubble world.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy RingCon?
I love RingCon, yeah. It was one of my favorite ones, I think. This one has been, I'm not just saying that, but this one has been really nice as well. And I can't think of anything. Yeah, just the party. There's been a lot of partying happen over the years, which has been great fun.
Thank you.
And the chairs you have here are fantastic.
Now from the gamers, if you know what they're the one that gamers have when they play. Yeah. And the last question.
Hello, I have a question to both of you. Okay. What do you think, who is worse, Joffrey or Ramsay?
Sorry?
What do you think, who is worse, Joffrey or Ramsay?
Joffrey.
Joff.
Okay.
The Joffmeister, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we have anybody else? This was a short one. Yes, no? There is one.
Hey, Jack, so who's your favorite fantasy villain, if you have one? Who would you look up to?
Fantasy
Joffrey.
villain?
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, Do you have one, Gemma? Fantasy villain. I think there are almost too many to choose from. Like, obviously, the Joker comes to mind, first of all, but that's got kind of a boring answer.
I think we could go for Andrew Scott.
Yeah.
Let's go for the most unique one.
Moriarty, yeah. Pretty fantastic.
Really dangerous.
Character and portrayal. He really kind of,
I hope you're hearing this, Andrew.
We love you so much.
Nothing.
But yeah, just a kind of a different type of villain, not just a villain who is really muscly or really, I don't know. Yeah, just a kind of a creepy villain. Yeah, which was really entertaining to watch.
Okay. Podziękujmy Jimmy i Jackowi.
Thank
you
you
guys.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
I zapraszam was pod scenę, zrobimy zdjęcie na Facebooka.
Oh, yeah.